are back with a Fox News alert. The president taking historic steps toward denuclearization on the Korean Peninsula. President Trump crossing the demilitarized zone, becoming the first president to walk on North Korean soil.
Kim Jong-un greeting the president at the DMZ for a historic handshake. This just one day after President Trump surprised the world with an invite on Twitter.
But the president is not taking the pressure off yet, vowing to keep sanctions in place as perhaps the talks restart. Watch.
I mean, at some point, look, I'm looking forward to taking them off. I don't like sanctions being on this country. I'm looking forward, but the sanctions remain, yes. But at some point during the negotiation, things can happen. And that's when we'll be talking about sanctions.
The president meeting with Kim for just about an hour or so. He said they agreed to restart negotiations over the next several weeks. So let's go straight to Joel Rubin. He is a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State under President Obama. He is now leader at the Washington Strategy Group. Good morning, Joel.
Morning, Joel.
Good morning. Thank you.
Obviously, a historic moment. We want to take that in. And also, though, we need to be skeptical about the days ahead. I was in Singapore for the first summit, Hanoi for Summit 2.0. This may be 3.0. The first two summits, there was progress, but then Kim never really followed through on denuclearization.
Yeah, that's right, Ed. And so this process that has not yet really taken off does need to take off. And I think what we saw last night was the president making it clear to Kim that there has to be a step-by-step negotiation. There have to be teams engaged. North Korea has not wanted to put a team forward. The United States has been engaging, but not really successful in that way. And it can't just be leader to leader. It has to really be a process where we get a document, where we get agreements, where we get certainty that denuclearization is going to happen.
Joel, why hasn't the process taken off before, and could this be an important igniter for real progress?
Well, this could be a real igniter because this seems like the last kind of meeting that President Trump wants to have. The process didn't take off before in many ways because, as critics have said, it looked like a photo op, and it looked like there were soft agreements and not a lot of follow through, and that's on Kim. So now with President Trump going to North Korea, and it's interesting, right? President Nixon could go to China. Now President Trump goes to North Korea. That's a big move. Kim knows that, and I don't think President Trump has any more political space available to him to try to make moves like this again. So hopefully he leaned in hard to Kim at that meeting afterwards and said, this is it, we need a deal, but we have to get a process going that gets us there.
Joel, I'm obviously skeptical, not trustworthy, terribly trustworthy of Kim Jong-un. But what about the political implications here for President Trump if there is no follow through from North Korea? We're heading into 2020. We're heading into a fierce campaign season. What does this look like for him if this doesn't play out as planned?
Well, you have reason to be skeptical. There have been deals with North Korea in the past, and they've been broken by North Korea. And we, too, have broken our share of deals in the past as well. President Trump, he seemed to want to have a little bit of wiggle room by saying timing doesn't matter. We have time. And I think that's the appropriate message. I think he needs to be given enough space here by politicians here politically in Washington to pursue this, because this is big. This is nuclear weapons. This is East Asia, and we can't mess around with this. And there's bipartisan tradition on transformative events, be it Osama bin Laden's killing, be it the fall of the Berlin Wall. There are major events. Different presidents have taken credit as they should. These are American victories, so Joel, he needs some space to win.
Joel, we've been direct and honest in saying that there's skepticism and that there's going to be a hard road ahead, and this is not just all wonder and light. But by the same token, will you and some of your friends in the Obama administration admit that there were 8 years of very little progress in your days with North Korea, and now this president, with an unconventional approach, has actually made progress?
Yeah, it's frustrating that there wasn't progress during those 8 years like there should have been. And there also wasn't much in the Bush administration. We have to go back to 1994, 95 to the agreed framework agreement that got some progress and then was torn up by the Bush administration. There's a lot of fault to go around. But President Trump deserves credit for taking a bold step, getting engaged, personally putting his credibility on the line to get this started in the real way.
All right. No, Joel, it's a breath of fresh air to so to say we want a win for America and our president, regardless of party. Joel Rubin, thank you very much for your time this morning. Appreciate it. Great insight.